So this is a very short tutorial to show how to animate a car, but in this case a very cartoony car, exiting the screen in a big hurry. And I've got here in the shot, if I go to the outliner, Windows outliner, you can see I've created a shot camera there, which is pointing at the car. I've got a set, which is the cartoon set from Turbo Squid. That I can actually delete because I don't need it. And I've got the any car which you can download from the web. So let's I'll show you where to get started to find all of these elements. So if we go to Google and just go to the animation blog, and if we just scroll down, there we go, animation blog, that's the one we want. Now I just put up this tutorial today. It's a very, very simple one. I did a little GIF here, and you can see what we're going for. It's just a simple tutorial, a simple animation where the car just does a little anticipation there on the left and then exits screen right very, very rapidly. And so it's an anticipation where we're going into that pose at frame 25. The action, as it kind of whizzes out, we're going to do a smear frame, and then the reaction is the camera shake at the end. And you can find the car here. You can download it for free from highend3d.com. There it is, and if for any reason you can't download it, you can always email me for a copy. You're also going to want to download a set. In this case, I've used the Cartoonland set. It's from Turbo Squid. You can download that for free. You just have to register and pop it into your shot. The rest of the steps are here at the blog. We're going to create a project, name it, set to it, then copy the vehicle into your scenes folder, copy the Cartoonland set into your scenes folder, set your timeline from 101 to 137, and then keyframe the car. Right, so let's get started. So here we are. I've got my shot camera there, which I'm going to lock off. You can lock off the camera just by right-clicking up there on the lock camera button. Sorry, you just click on it, actually. You don't need to right-click. I've got my, if I hit spacebar, I've got my three-way camera, my shot camera there on the right. My perspective view on the left, sorry, three-way view. You can find that, by the way, just by going to Panels, Layouts, 3-pane split top. And then on the right-hand side, you select your shot camera. There's a separate video to show you how to do that. Just go to the YouTube channel and search for how to create a shot camera in Maya. You'll find it. In fact, I can show you how to do it here at the blog. Create a shot camera. And there'll be a video there. There we go, how to create a shot camera in Maya, which shows you how to do that. Okay, so back to our tutorial. So we've got our shot camera. So we've got, now what we want is the, so we go to frame 101 and making sure that select surface objects is turned off. I'm just going to keyframe everything on the car at frame 101. And then I'm going to keyframe everything at frame 25. Except here at 25, I'm going to move the car back a little bit. So we've got a little bit of an anticipation. So the car is going to move back. And I also want to give it a bit of a kind of squash and a little bit of a stretch there. Or quite a lot of stretch there, because I want it to go into this anticipation pose at frame 25, like that. And then at frame 26, I'm just going to get the car out of the shot. So I'm just going to move it out altogether, frame 26. So what we end up with is that. Now, I can also add a little bit of, let's say at 101, I can add a little bit of a kind of anticipation there. So, whoops, select the, we also have the Cartoonland on a layer, by the way, so I can just turn that on and off whenever I want to. To see how to use the layer editor in Maya, which is really useful, just once again go to the blog and type in layer editor, and you'll find it's a free tutorial on how to use the layer editor. It's really, really useful. There we go. How to use the layer editor in Maya. You'll find that really useful to create layers. So let's, at frame 109, let's have a little bit of an anticipation here. Have the car go down a little bit. Oh, we've got a little bit of upward and downward movement in the main, which we don't want. So, and then what we want is a little bit of a vibrate there. So So I'm going to add it 113. I'm going to keyframe that so we get, and I'm going to keyframe it again at 117 as well. But what we want is a nice kind of vibrate on this so that we get so I'm going to pull that down a little bit there. And then it's going to go up, and then it's going to go down a bit there. And then up a bit. Whoops. That should be frame 121. So a little bit of a vibrate there. Down a bit there. So we're getting kind of a, a vibration as it goes upwards like that. Whoops. There we go. And we can also, with the move there backwards, we're going to need to tighten up all of these curves really. So we want that to, let's go into that a little bit faster. Something like that. And we could even at frame 5 we could have a little bit of a, a forward anticipation like that. Something like that. We can work on that, make it snappier, but I want to keep this nice and short. So frame 126, what we want to do is we've got our car out of the shot, so we're going to need to create a basically a kind of an orange smear, a yellow smear here at frame 126. So I'm going to go ahead and go create polygon primitives cylinder, and here's my cylinder, and I'm going to go to the rotate tool, hold down the J key to snap it, and then we're going to extend it, make it nice long smear. Let's go to the perspective view. And we want that to be, let's just go down to inputs down there under P cylinder 1. We're going to need some more subdivisions here. So subdivisions height. Sorry, it's a little hard to see here. There we go. Let's go for 10. And then, so there we go. And let's turn off Cartoon Land, and let's right click for vertex mode, and then let's just sort of use the scale tool there to kind of just shape that a bit. So we're getting more of a kind of squidgy shape to it. Then right click back to object mode, and now we want to assign a material to that. So let's go right click, assign favorite material. Sorry, you can't see that because it's off the screen, but I'm going assign favorite material Lambert. Lambert 2, that's called. So let's call that smear Lambert. And then let's go to colors, and let's make that bright yellow like the car. And so now we've got it at frame 125. It's still in the shot, so we actually need to turn the visibility off. And actually, we should call that smear. Let's just call that smear there. And if we go down to visibility, we can turn that off at frame 125. Set keyframe there. Visibility on at frame 126, and then at frame 127, I want to move that off to the right. Something like that. Let's see. So we've got, what we've got is, oh, that's a bit too, oh dear. 125, 126. So we actually, let's go back to the perspective view. I'm going to move that back a little bit there. There we go. Wait, where's our camera view gone? There we go. And then out there. Right, so now what we've got is, oh, okay, 126. Turn off on select surface object so we can keyframe this thing. And then it's going to be out of frame in 128. So let's go to the perspective view there. Whoops. And animate it out of the shot. Something wrong with my perspective view there. Let's try perspective 1. There we go. Okay, so let's go back to our main view now. So we've got, so there we go, car's kind of backing up and you can see it kind of whizzing out there. So what we've done is we've created this smear here at frame 126, the yellow smear. The yellow smear is animated at 127, and then at 128, everything's out of the shot. So now the last thing we want to do is animate a quick camera shake there. Let's unlock the camera. So we've got keyframe there at 128. Now I'm going to find it easier to animate the camera in the perspective view. So I've got to turn on the camera. So I've got to show cameras. And there it is. There's the camera. And if I go to rotate, so we've got a camera, so 130, let's just rotate the camera up a little bit. And then at 132, let's rotate it down a little bit. And 134, up a little bit. And 136, down a little bit. And let's make it 138 frames. So I can get one more little rotation in there. And then let's go back and see what we've done. Back to the shot camera, and there we go. So I've now got a vibration on the camera. It's too big. So what I want to do is go ahead and look at that curve. So I'm going to go Windows Outliner, select the camera, make sure it's selected, hit spacebar. So I'm in the graph editor, and we animated the, what was it? It was the rotate. It was one of the rotates, rotate X, I believe. There we go. So there's our curve. So what we can do there is just kind of reduce that curve. What we're looking for is a kind of, you know, obviously we're looking for a rotation. We probably want the camera to go back to where it was, so something like that should do us. Right, wobble, wobble, and stop. So let's go back to the beginning, and there we go. And now, so what we're doing in effect is kind of simulating. Actually, maybe it was better the way I had it, with more of a kind of progression on it. Because of course there's no reason why it would go back to exactly the same position. There we go, something like that. So you're getting a vibe. So the vibration is the air pressure against the camera operator at the end there. So there we go, super simple animation. You've got an anticipation, an action, a reaction in the form of a little camera shake at the end. Fun little piece of animation. And then there's a separate video on how to do some lights and render, which I'll leave you to find at the blog.